This is Underdog Portfolio Weekly, hosted by Scott Conner.
What is good, everyone? Welcome back. Last episode of the season of UPW. Thank you, everybody that has tuned in thus far this year. Bestball Mania is almost full, so I had to jump on here. Wasn't able to make it last night, but wanted to jump in and do one final show. This is going to be a pretty chill and laid-back episode where I'm just going to kind of make some picks. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get in 2 drafts. I said I was going to be able to do 2. I need to do 2 more. I think I am at 142 thus far. I entered 5 slows just because I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get all of the fasts in before it closes, but I have 8 more remaining. I see Dynasty Barry in the house, Flowosaurus, Kyle, Jeremiah. What's up, Coach? One half of the Bestball Night School. Shout out to those guys that put out a lot of Underdog content this year on the DD pod feed. So I'm going to get the screen shared. I'm just going to pull this up and we'll roll with it. I am going to enter a BBM here in a couple minutes, but to be honest, I just finished a fairly long show that I was recording, which will come out here in a little bit, but have to make some picks. I was on the clock in, 49 drafts. I was on the clock when I finished the show, and damn near almost got timed out. I have not got timed out one time in a slow draft this year, so that is a proud moment that I can hold through this year. I've not been timed out one time. I see Anthony J. What's good, Anthony? First time tuning in. How you doing? Thank you for being here. Last episode of the year of UPW, so thank you for jumping in for the last one. Again, I'm going to enter a Bestball Mania here, probably about 7:45 Eastern, but to be honest with you, I need to go through and make some picks because I am literally, as you can see, actually, let me make it a little bit bigger so everybody can see here. Actually, I'm going to take away, I don't need to sell any more Underdog. I've sold some Underdog this year with promo code ALLGAS, but I'm going to pull that off so everybody can see a little bit better on the board. Let's get rid of that. There we go. So we're just going to go with the naked board tonight, and let me actually move myself so it's a little more aesthetically pleasing. Give me just 1 second. And there we go. Last one. I can fool around with the overlay, and it's not that big of a deal. Boom. That should be good. So, all right. I'm going to go through and make some picks. As you can see in here, the queue is just ridiculous. All of these drafts, I am on the clock. I mean, it is just mountains of picks. I entered 75 marathons, and I started drafting those last week, and they have just been an absolute slog to get through them. I mean, it's been fun, but at the same time, just doing that many picks has been awful. So I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to make some picks live, and then I'm going to jump into BBM. I'm going to hit go right at 7:45. So if anybody wants to jump in, it is only fast drafts now at this point. So I'm going to have to knock these all out here in the next, I don't know, 24 hours, I would say. And actually, let me fix this overlay. It's not going to be good when I'm in the draft screen. It's not going to be a good presentation. Nah, that one's not good. I got a bunch of overlays I can mess with here. That one's not going to be as fun. Let's roll with this one. There we go. I can bring the overlay back in. There we go. I saw a comment in there from Dynasty Barry. Did my final Underdog last night, 100 total entries across the various options, 11 BBM. Heavy Lamar, thanks so much for the content. Trying Underdog this summer, Scott. Enjoyed the journey. Appreciate you, bro. You know, we go way back. Appreciate you tuning in. You were here damn near every stream, so thank you with the support and the comments and the engagement in the chat. Thank you, my friend. It means a lot. Let's get to some picks. So let's see. These marathons, I know last week all I did was slow picks, so I'm not going to do as many. So these marathons, because it's season-long points, it's interesting. One thing these marathons have taught me is I've quickly pivoted building these marathon teams, meaning every draft almost, and I've done 75 of them, or I've only completed like 2, but there's another 73 going on. Every draft, I'm taking 2 elite quarterbacks. Every one. Now, this is just my strategy in the marathon. It is points from week 1 to week 17. There is no correlation that matters. There is no game stacking. I mean, stacking matters, but in terms of loading up on Ravens and Texans, I mean, sure, your players are going to get more points if it's a huge shootout game, but you're not trying to thread the needle for 1 week in advance when you've already made it through 16. If you're 200 points behind, having a game that is 38-35 between Ravens and Texans, you are not going to go from that far back in total points to win. So the week 16, week 17 correlation just doesn't matter as much. I've focused a lot more on stacking, but I have damn near started every draft RB. So it's Bijan Robinson, Breece Hall, Christian McCaffrey, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley, Devon Achane. I would say I'm probably 25 to 30% on all of those running backs in the tournament. And if I don't have one, then I have one of the others. So I have very, very little of the receivers in the first 2 rounds. And at the same time, in BBM and a lot of the other tournaments, I'm going hero RB or true zero RB. So I've appreciated this. And I want to put this comment in here from Coffee and Kicks. Or excuse me, I'll get to Michael's in a second. But Coffee and Kicks, serious overlay. Yeah, there's huge overlay in the marathon. Like right now, I'm going to look at the marathon. Let me see. I got to make some picks in a second. I'm going to fall behind. So in the marathon, we are still less than 60% full on the marathon. And guaranteed 300,000 first place prize, 2 million prizes in the marathon, and it's only 60% full. So it's probably not even going to get to 75, maybe 80. But there's just serious overlay. So I mass entered it, and I figured I'm going to build teams differently than everybody. It may not work. I may end up just donating, whatever it is, $25 an entry for the 75 marathons that I did. I may end up just donating. But I know I'm building teams differently in this contest. And it makes sense. In total points, when push comes to shove, forget about health, forget about hoping running backs get opportunity. If you're just talking about who's going to score the most points, if you're right, I almost have to have the quarterback and the running back that go and end up finishing QB2, QB3, RB1, RB2, RB3. Like I want to have exposure to those guys. And it's just most likely to come from those first 8 to 10 running backs that are being drafted. Sure, could there be a couple others? And I've tacked on others. I mean, you can look at this team that I'm literally looking at right now. So this marathon, obviously, I went Bijan Robinson. And then I ended up, on this one, I did go Nico Collins and Stephon Diggs, but that's specifically because I had so much Lamar Jackson and so much of the early running backs that I pivoted a little bit here. But I still got Bijan, Pacheco, Najee, Javonte Williams, with Nico Collins and Diggs, with CJ Stroud. So that was my first 7 picks. Then I'm sitting here going, all right, I need to catch up at receiver. So it's really just any receiver possible. I'm probably going to end up with a bunch of 2-5-9-2 builds. The beauty of having the 2 elite quarterbacks, and Trevor Lawrence is kind of on the bottom tier, but I like at Justin Herbert and earlier, almost every team has 2 quarterbacks in that range. If I take Lamar, I'm still trying to get Jordan Love. If I get Mahomes, I'm still trying to get Jared Goff. Like I'm trying to stack both quarterbacks with at least a receiver and or tight end, if not both. But even when I take Josh Allen, I'm still trying to tack on Justin Herbert. I'm still trying to tack on another quarterback that I feel 100% comfortable, does have a lot of top 12 upside weeks built in, because there's going to be some weeks that I need it. But I think it's just crucial, given the scoring format, to hit on the elite quarterback and or the elite running back, and hopefully both. So with this team, let's see, I'm in round 14. Of course, there's Ray. Ray's been in 90% of these with me, and he's taking a similar strategy. So that's been nice that we're both doing it, and the rest of the room is just treating this like it's a tournament. Like I've seen some 6 straight RBs or 6 straight receivers drafted in these marathons. Just not how I would play it. Doesn't mean I'm going to be right, but it's not how I would specifically play it. So let's go to this one. Let's make some picks. I got to make a couple. Otherwise, I'm just going to be here all night. Receivers. What do I got? I got any stacks? T-Law. I'm definitely going to take Parker Washington on this team. But it's probably just what receiver in here do I think is going to score the most points? And it's probably either Bateman or Wan'Dale Robinson. Could go Jalen Tolbert. It's not a bad one. Don't have a lot of Tolbert. I have a lot more Wan'Dale. You know what? I'll probably go Tolbert. Why not? Let's rip some Jalen Tolbert there. Let's see, Michael. What am I most excited about this season? Honestly, Michael, that's a good question. I get excited for different things in the season. I think the most exciting thing for me in the season is just the cadence of the season. You know what to expect. You know what every single day of the week is. You know, there's certain days where all you're really focused on is dynasty trades, injuries, setting lineups for the upcoming week. Like, there's different cadences to the week that make dynasty and redraft. All of them are specifically exciting because you know exactly what Monday means. Then you know what Tuesday feels like. Then all of a sudden you get to Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You know exactly what those days are. You get day 1, day 2, day 3 of practice reports. You kind of have an idea of what each one of those mean. You get Thursday night football thrown in, which gives you decisions you have to make on Thursday night. And then boom, you're on to the next week. So it's just the cadence of a season is very nice, especially when you're in the content space and this, like the off season has just been do as much as possible. You know, as many drafts. I'm going to be at probably 9. I'm not going to get to 1,000, but I'm going to probably be about 900 underdog drafts all done. And I know there's a lot of people out there that have done underdog content that have done more drafts than me. I did not do my first draft until May 6th. So I was not one of these that was drafting on Underdog in January, in February, in March. I did nothing pre-draft. So I have gotten close to, in the end, it'll be about 900 drafts done between May 6th and the start of September. And I'm going to Vegas next week for FFPC main event. So I will effectively be done with Underdog by Monday. Cannot play in Vegas. So I can't even enter anything when I get out there. So yeah, it's just been, I mean, what is that? 900 drafts over a span of 3.5 months-ish, 3 months and 3.8 months, 120 days. I mean, that's 6 drafts a day. I mean, I know there's slows in there, but you get the pace. It's pretty crazy. So, all right, let's see. Make a couple more picks. I'll make the ones that I know I'm going to have to make before this stream ends. This marathon, we are in round 9. I have Mahomes, Gibbs, Barkley, Pollard, Ridley, Christian Watson, Hollywood Brown, Travis Kelce. What do we got available at quarterback here? Yeah, a couple of the QB stacks that I would have targeted were already gone. Coach says love the structure. Yes, 100%. Love the structure in season. You know exactly what to expect. Let's see. What do I have? T-Law. T-Law with Ridley. I don't care as much about that. It's probably a fade quarterback here. No real stacks. This may be a one where I end up pivoting and maybe going Will Levis, unless there's an obvious stack that I could get. Like I could go T-Law here, and then I could probably come right back around and take Gabe Davis. That's a little early to take Gabe Davis. Jerry Jeudy, Shaheed, Wicks. Love is gone. That's the one I've been trying to hit here if he's still there, but he usually goes before pick 100. Ooh, Bindles. Bindles in the house. What's good, Bindles? Good evening. I don't know. It's evening here. GM. I do have the GM GP shirt, the new GM GP Good Morning Good People shirt that we just got up on. I believe it's up on ddfantasyfootball.com. If not, should be up soon. But the new swag, the new logo hat, and the new shirt. So shout out to Ray for getting that stuff out before the season. Richard, what is your most player owned? So in BBM itself, or in just, I mean, I can go with BBM, but outside of Superflex, I've done a lot of Superflex and obviously doing a lot of marathons. But outside of those two, just single QB standard format exposure. Right now, it's going to end up being Calvin Ridley. I'm going to probably be at about $1,200 in entry fees on Calvin Ridley. So that equates to, I don't know, maybe 20%, something like that. But a lot of that, honestly, if I go to, I don't have it in front of me, but if I went to Spike Week to see what my ADP was on Calvin Ridley, I was huge on the Titans offense early. A ton of Spears, a ton of Ridley, not as much Hopkins and Pollard. I've gotten a little more Pollard since, but I had a ton of Spears and Ridley. They've been my top owned players on Underdog basically all year. So I started getting them, and I'm continuing to take them because Ridley's price didn't rise as much as it probably could have with the Hopkins news that came out. So, how much has Debo's ADP changed today? We'll see. About to rip a BBM here, about 5 minutes. I said 7:45, but I really do have to make a couple of these picks. So let me focus on making a few of these picks. I'm just going to start going through the process, taking some guys I like. Let's see, make sure the bye weeks are clear here. I'm going to go T-Law. And then I am going to line up Gabe Davis and just take Gabe Davis next because he will not come back to me. So we'll put him in the queue, go to the next one. And I got to catch up just to where I know, throw a couple players in the queue, make some picks, and then we'll do a BBM. So maybe we'll do about 8 o'clock start. See if I can make another like 10 picks before then. So if anybody wants to draft, I know you got to do live. So I'm probably going to be doing a couple more tonight. I'm going to hit the gym after this and probably do one. Well, I'm in the gym in between sets or whatever I choose to do. So if you want to get in BBM, I'm guessing it's probably going to be filled definitely by the end of the weekend, if not a little bit sooner, given the pace that it's been going. So this one, another marathon. We're working on a 1-4-4-2. Quarterback options. Probably receiver, Stafford, McBride, and Bowers already. Stafford would be the pick if I wanted to go with a quarterback. There's obviously options that I can stack Stafford on. Parkinson's out because I'm not going more than 2 tight ends here. So this is probably just going to be a AD Mitchell team, and because why not? And I can make 2 picks. So it's probably going to be, could go Darnell Mooney. I don't think Kirk Cousins. Yeah, Kirk Cousins isn't there. Otherwise, I would have gone Cousins and Mooney. So you know what? We're going to go Judy, and we're going to go AD Mitchell. I won't see that team for at least 3 more days, most likely. So let's go to this one. Anthony, you said you save your BBMs for the weekend because I feel like the competition is softer. I mean, honestly, man, like I've not done as many lives if I wanted to, but I've tried to also mix up when I do my drafts. So like I've tried to wake up in the morning. I mean, I believe it or not, I do have a day job. So I woke up the other day, 6 o'clock a.m., ripped 2 BBM 5s, worked, full day. And then maybe I'll do one that evening. But I figured I captured maybe a different crowd that I'm used to drafting with if I'm drafting 6 a.m. Eastern versus when I'm usually drafting midday or drafting at night. So just one of those where you try to get different times, different pockets, maybe drafting against people from, other places, other states, other regions. I mean, it's worth trying. But yeah, sometimes the draft competition is different and you get in there, there's literally 11 other badge players, which sometimes badge players, you might think, oh, they got a badge. That means they've played Underdog. It might just mean they've played Underdog for a long time. But then you see some of the drafts and they're either portfolio players that have a method to the madness, or they are just, they've just done a lot of drafts. It doesn't necessarily mean they're going to outdraft you necessarily. So here's a Superflex Pomeranian. These are the ones that I wish would go away. Ty DeClaire, good evening, good people. What's up, Ty? How are you, buddy? So let's see. We got a 4-6-6-2 build. These are usually 4-7-7-2 or 3-7-7-3s in the Superflex. See if I got any stacks in here. Oh, yeah, we got a Nathan O'Connell. So this is definitely going to be a Trey Tucker team. Why not? Let's lock me in some Trey Tucker. And I will be up soon in that one, I'm guessing. All right, man, the marathons just do not stop. I could do another stream where I just do live picks, and people will probably go, oh, you did this last week. Oh, marathons. All right, this marathon. Okay, I already see Rashad Bateman in the queue. Let's see, what do I have? 1 tight end. We're definitely going to go Bateman here. Maybe a little early to go Bateman, but let's see, 178? Nah, I'll be able to get Bateman coming back. Let's see, I already got 5 running backs. Brees, Achane. Here you go. Here's a perfect example of how I'm drafting these. I have Lamar. I have Love, right? You're going, wow, you got 2 quarterbacks in the first 8 rounds. Okay. I then started Brees, Achane, Etienne. With Eckler, Algier in the marathon. I'm drafting as much Algier when I have Brees Hall. I'm drafting as much Braylon Allen when I have Bijan. So I'm trying to put Algier on the Brees teams and Braylon Allen on the Bijan teams. Just hedging my bets a little bit because I know I'm super exposed on both and I'm not handcuffing them with each other. So which means I'm going to be almost 0% exposed on the handcuffs. I'm like, you know what? It makes sense on some of these Bijan teams to get Braylon and on some of the Brees teams to get Algier because I'm also playing against all the other teams in the tournament that have my guys that have Brees and Bijan. And they're probably not handcuffing either. So it's just kind of a good way to get some exposure to players I know I'm not going to get because of where I'm drafting the running backs. But as you can see, this team, I mean, Brees, Achane, Etienne, with 2 elite quarterbacks and Mark Andrews. So how good do you feel in a BBM if you're not taking a receiver until round 7? You don't feel good. Here, Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs. So I'm going all in on that Jordan Love triple stack. Also with Addison and Josh Downs. So this is going to be probably a 9 or 10 receiver team. So that's what I'm looking for here. Unfortunately, there isn't an obvious one to take. So the other option would be, because I do have Lamar, to go Isaiah Likely. I don't have a lot of his Isaiah Likely with Mark Andrews. I don't want to draft 3 tight ends. So I'm debating whether I should take Likely, because that means I probably have to take a third, and I'm not going to do it. Pass on Likely. Let's see. Receiver-wise, could go Tolbert. Could take my 6th running back, because I'm probably only going 6 here. Kind of like Justice Hill. It's a little far down. I think I'm just going to have to stomach it. Just stomach it and take a receiver. Who could it be? Or I could go my 2nd tight end here. Maybe I go Conklin. I like Conklin a lot. I'm going to go Conklin. Get tight end out of the way. There's a bunch of receivers I like later. So we're going to go Conklin. Put that one to bed. What time do we got? 7:52. Man, I'm about to be live streaming this BBM and drafting these drafts on the clock, on the slow drafts. Let's see. What do we got rolling here? Another marathon, a 2-5-5-2 build. Mahomes, Lawrence, running backs. Definitely need some more receivers here. I'm done at tight end. Let's see here. Tolbert. I haven't been taking a lot of Tolbert because I'm not getting a lot of Dak. I don't want to take the Bateman necessarily on the teams where I already have taken a ton of them with Lamar. Have some Wandale. You know what? Let's go let's go Tolbert. I've always skipped over Tolbert because I don't have a lot of Dak. So let's go Tolbert. I want to be up again here in like 6 picks. So I'll probably get another one of those receivers I was still debating. Appreciate it, Kyle. Yeah, I was sitting there bench pressing at the gym, and I'm like, wait a second. I know I'm going to go so heavy on Bijan and Brees in this tournament. Like, legit, if I showed you my exposure, I can't show it on Spike Week because we're already past that, but like it's legitimately probably 28% Bijan and 28% Brees. And legitimately the only places I'm not getting them is when I'm drafting like 108 or later. And then if I'm drafting 109 through 112, I'm just taking Gibbs, Barkley, Achane, Jonathan Taylor. And I'm even working in a Derrick Henry, Isaiah Pacheco, Josh Jacobs. So it's just been every pick, whether I'm at the 102 or 108, I'm going Bijan and Brees. So, all right, let's see. What do we got rolling on this marathon? We got this one's almost over. Thank goodness. So a 2-6-7-1 build with Stroud and Justin Herbert. I bet you I got some. Yep. Stroud, Herbert, Diggs, Dell, Palmer with Andrews, Bateman. So I'm going to need another tight end. Let's see. I do not want you definitely want to be cognizant of bye weeks here. When you're talking about total points, if I'm only going 2 tight ends, they cannot have the same bye. That's leaving 8 points on the board for no reason. See, Jawan Johnson. Who do I like? Andrews. Not really any stack. I could go with a Chargers tight end. It's going to be different. It's not as necessary to get the stack, though, especially since I already have Palmer. It's not as necessary to get a stack there, but it would make a little sense for some correlation. Jawan Johnson's sitting out there. I don't mind that one. You know what? I'm going to take some Jawan. I avoided taking him in BBM almost all summer because of his injury, so get a little Jawan Johnson exposure here. I got to hide that comment. Look at that, Benny. 150 BBMs. Congrats, my friend. Congrats. It is, I don't want to say it's a chore because it's fun to enter that many drafts. I mean, I probably could have been a little more aggressive over the last week in drafting and doing a couple more slows. I know now I'm at a point where I'm going to have to rip 8 fasts, so I better get to it here in a minute because I'm at risk of not being able to get in them unless I rip them all tonight. So I'm going to probably have to end up doing 5 or 6 drafts. I mean, I'm going to be a busy bunny here over the next 12 hours. So we got Lamar, T-Law, Bijan, Barkley, Pacheco. This is definitely a Braylon Allen team. I doubt we're a little far. You know what? Perfect. Right there. I'm going to pick here. I bet you Braylon Allen comes back to me. So I probably need to take. I really do need to take another running back here. Downs, Leggett. Downs is another one that's been injured, so I'm gonna throw Downs in there. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna pivot. I'm gonna go Leggett. Leggett, if he hits, is gonna score a lot more points than Downs. So I'll roll with that one. Hopefully Braylon Allen comes back to me. And we'll do a couple more on these. Here's another Superflex Pomeranian. These are got to be closing out. Yeah, this one's in round 19. Oh, what do we got? 2, 3, 7, 6, 2. What are the QBs? Stroud, Caleb, Michael Penix. Okay, this is probably a 4 QB team. Any natural correlation with any of my QBs? Where could we really go rogue? Jameis Winston would be the obvious one, but he's gone. Got Pitts with Penix. I love that. Tank Dell with Stroud. Anybody that I don't have stacked? JSN. Yeah, Sam Howell's gone. I could have gone JSN. Winston's gone. I could have gone there. Yeah, there's not really any obvious stacks. Penix, Caleb, Stroud. I could go John Mechie. That's a little different. Cam Akers I got in the queue. I'm going to take Cam Akers because I did want to get some Cam Akers. So we'll go Cam Akers. And I did have some Cam Akers because of the correlation with Stroud. I like that one. All right, 2 minutes. I will hit enter on the BBM. So I'm going to rip 1 or 2 more of these picks. That should buy me enough time to not get autoed on any pick where I have more than an hour. And then we will end the stream after this BBM. So this is another marathon. It is a 0-4-3-0 build. I did not hit on a quarterback, but it is my lucky night. When I log in and I see Terry McLaurin on my roster and I see Jaden Daniels still sitting at the top of the queue, could not ask for a better present within that. So that is an auto pick. And 2 more. Then I think I'm an hour out. Yeah, close to an hour out. Here we get some BBM. So this will lead perfectly into a live draft. What do we got? We got 11-12 turn. What am I working with? Stroud, Caleb. I remember starting this team. Stroud and Caleb. I'm not doing that much in BBM, but maybe my marathon strategy got a little too much of me here. So Stroud, Caleb, Aaron Jones, Brian Robinson, and I believe I went 6 straight receivers on this team. Yep, 6 straight receivers with Aaron Jones, Brian Robinson, Stroud, and Caleb. Definitely not taking another quarterback. This draft room has made me pay. They have eaten all the running backs, and I am going to double tap here. Unfortunately, I cannot take Ty Chandler because I already have Aaron Jones. Don't want to do that. Probably ALLGAS in the mix. I'm going to go with a little upside here. We'll go Trey Benson. Wanted to get more Trey Benson since they cut Michael Carter. And we're going to roll with some Tyler ALLGAS. Gives me a nice little bring back with another Atlanta piece if I need to go there. So we'll go Tyler ALLGAS. And we are done there. And then what do we got going here? Got BBM. All right, last one. And then we will hit these and start a live. So if you're about to jump in, timer's down to 2 hours now. So the slows are just going to keep coming for me. So we're not going to get a break. We got a 2-3-6-1 build on this team. And we are at 149. Probably need to go running back. Only have 1 tight end. Chuba Hubbard probably will be the pick on this team. So I'll go Chuba Hubbard. All right. So if anybody wants to jump in, I'm going to go and enter a live right now. We will draft one. I will be on my phone while we're drafting because I'm literally on the clock still in about 15 drafts. So I got to hit those, but we're going to go to the lobby and jump in BBM. This will be BBM 140, I believe 143 for me. So hopefully I can get 8 more in before it fills. We're at a fill rate 94%. So it's probably going to be filled by the end of tomorrow. So let's get it entered. And let's see where we shake out. Waiting for 9 more. And it's crazy that they cut these timers down to 2 hours so quickly. And really, not the time where you want to have 100+ slow drafts going on. You almost have to be in front of a laptop or in front of a computer at all times, or at least have your phone on you at all times. So what do we draw here? Yikes. Okay, the 10 spot. Don't love it, but we will live with it. So the 10 spot. Good news is that's probably a Bijan, AJ Brown, Garrett Wilson. Almost guaranteed to know what you're going to get. It feels better being in the 10 spot than the 11 or 12, at least for me right now. So we'll see what shakes out when it gets here. Starting in 30 seconds. Anybody else in here get in the draft? Maybe, maybe not. If you did and you're in the chat, speak up. And I don't really have any goals. Percentage-wise, I mean, let's see where I'm at. Exposure. Wilson, AJ Brown. Yeah, pretty much standard on both of those guys. So probably think right now it's easier. It's probably easier, I think, to build out a team around like Bijan, but I have so much Bijan in the marathon. I'm just not interested in taking him to BBM, given that I'm already at the exposure that I wanted to hit. So it's probably not where I'm looking to go here. All right, so we got Lamb, McCaffrey, Lamb. Just go. Oh, never really appreciated how slow these can go when you're doing some so many slows and a bunch of the tournaments where they only had 15, 20-second clocks. Even the 10-second drafts, like the 30 seconds just feels like it takes forever till you're in a pinch and you have to make the picks. Then it's like, oh, it feels like you're always up against the clock, but it is what it is. Let's go Justin Herbert there. And sorry, again, I'm drafting a bunch of slows at the same time. So this may be this is honestly not the greatest live streaming given where we're at in the season, but hey, it's probably just Bestball degenerates and Underdog degenerates that are still watching. So ain't the greatest if you're listening back on the pod. Amon-Ra. Yeah, there's never any surprises in these drafts, ever. Not this late. Everyone kind of knows exactly what they want to do. All right, so it's going to be either Garrett Wilson or AJ Brown. I honestly don't care. They left me Garrett Wilson. That's an auto pick. Now we're going to see. Yeah, I'll see if I can take Mahomes. It's a team. It's a spot you can take Mahomes. 3-4 turn, he'll be there. This is the prime time to take Mahomes. I don't even know my Mahomes exposure. Let me look at it. 8%. So much less Hurts, much less Allen, not a lot of Anthony Richardson. Kind of want to get, one of my goals is to get more Kylen Granson, Anthony Richardson. I don't have one stack of Kylen Granson or Anthony Richardson in BBM. That's kind of a goal, but this isn't the spot to do it unless Richardson falls. It's a tough spot. He's going to go, round 5, round 6 turn, and I'm at 4-5, so it's not going to be at a spot where I'm going to be able to get him. Let's see. Actually, no, you know what? No, you're wrong. I'm wrong. Other side around on the board. I may be able to get Richardson here, which makes me not want to take Mahomes. For what you said, coffee and kicks. Maybe what I'll do is I'll sit on Mahomes. I'll probably take a Chiefs receiver going in, and which gives me the flexibility to not have to take Mahomes if I don't want to. So we're going to go Nico Collins. Nah, see, here's the thing. I'm all about living a little, but not in the second round, just because you're playing in a huge tournament. Like you're playing against other people that have gotten him in the 3rd and the 4th. So you're not helping yourself by taking him here, but I can still get him. Like I'm in the spot in the draft where he will be right there. So I'm not sweating it. I think I have a good shot at getting him if I want him. It's just about, do I want him? Marvin Mims. See, JT, Waddle. Yeah, I'm going to reload my board here real quick so my correlation starts to highlight. All right, hopefully this ended up shaking out right. Come on. Anyway, it'll load when it loads. But yeah, I'm probably focusing on, there we go. Probably focusing on, I mean, Barkley and A-Chain not going to come back to me. Kyron, I'm passing on. So it's probably, yeah, I mean, I'm 100%. I'm going to take one of his receivers first because it's going to fall right where I'd be willing to take Rashee Rice. So Rashee Rice may go, but his ADP, I think, is 34. 39. So, I mean, I can take Rashee Rice going in. And then if I don't want to take Mahomes, that's fine. I can take Richardson coming out. Because I do want to get more Richardson. Like, I've made it a point to try to get more Richardson. So, whatever that means, I've made it a point to try to get more Richardson. So, let's see. And I'm trying to make a couple other picks while we're on the clock at the same time. Don't want to do that. H-in, Olave. I have been able to build some nice teams with Olave falling. So Olave, Ayuk, and some of the early receivers has been really nice. Because early on, people were taking Olave and Ayuk in the early to mid-second. Now you're able to get them in like the 2-3 turn. So you can get like a Tyreek, Olave, Ayuk team, which is that's one that was unmatched earlier in the year. Both those guys were going in the second. So favorite last round running back? Honestly, right now, I mean, P. Ryan's not going in the last round. He's going in like round 16. But there was a ton of the slows where I was on the clock and I was able to take P. Ryan. So I got some P. Ryan exposure late. Right now, it's probably Cam Akers. Akers is up there. I've been taking more Alexander Madison for some reason. I mean, he's probably a true handcuff. It's gross, but I want to get some Madison. Jamal Williams is one you can take. Those three are ones I've tried to mix in a little bit. Trey Sermon, that's a risky one, but he's a guy people stopped drafting when he got injured. So what you're trying to do is leverage on guys that are not going to be highly rostered. That's why P. Ryan's going in round 15, 16, because he's so low owned in the tournament that it doesn't really matter where you take him. The leverage you're getting on his ownership is so high compared to just drafting another, I don't know, like Roshan Johnson, Khalil Herbert. Those guys are getting picked. They've gotten picked in every draft. Nothing's really changed. They're fine picks. They're just going to be 100% rostered. I mean, Kenny McIntosh is another one you can take. But I think the idea is you're trying to get leverage on the ownership of the field versus my favorite late round running back. That's why guys like Akers, P. Ryan, McIntosh, there's Jamal Williams. They're so appealing because nobody was drafting them. So they just make more sense to take those guys versus, some of the others. So let's see what we got going here. Up in 4 picks. Rice will be there if I want. I do have Nico. So I conceivably could try to do I've seen some people that end up getting Nico, Dell, and Diggs on the same team. Like, you're not going to probably win BBM with that. You're not even probably going to get to round 16 or week 16 with that. You're just not. Like, there shouldn't be a triple stack with Stroud. Like, it might get you to the playoffs, but the odds that you pull a week based on that, I just don't see it. I don't love doing it. So I'm probably going to go Rice here. Yeah, we're going to go Rashee Rice here. And then if I want to take Mahomes, I can. I'm being peer pressured by Coffee and Kicks in the chat to take Mahomes. But I don't mind it. Because I don't have a lot of Mahomes. Only 8% Mahomes. It's hard for me to take Mahomes over Dell or Diggs. And there goes Mahomes. So the Mahomes-Kelsey Tapper took that. So I'm going to pivot right back to taking Diggs. That's okay. odd. I would have taken Diggs over Rice if I wasn't planning on getting Mahomes, but I ended up getting both anyway. So sometimes it works out nicely with that. So back to making some of these picks on the clock. And again, anybody that's watching, and I'm going silent for a minute or two at a time, I'm literally trying to find some other picks to make in this draft. Watson. What is this? The Puppy 3. Yeah, I don't have a lot of Tolbert. Tolbert. Another Puppy. Yeah, Kyle, you're right. It is probably just the degenerates. I mean, I do this stream for the degenerates. You know, some people will check it out, watch it for a little bit, but like it's the underdog degenerates. You know, it's the same 100 people every week that probably watch, listen, download, you know, whatever it is. Like I see people jump in, I see the numbers spike, and then people will jump off when they realize it's just another Bestball Mania draft. You know, it is what it is. So let's see. Is always Whittington available in this one? Oh, yeah, that's an automatic smash. Whittington, when you got Stafford, that's a smash. Let's see. 143. Oh, this is the one that I just took Jaden Daniels a couple of minutes ago. Yeah, this timer getting down to an hour is, and it's an hour. The timer getting down to an hour is, I'm going to be on clock for the rest of the friggin' night. I mean, it's okay, but, you know, it's going to be one of those things. Probably pass and go quarterback there. I need another. Go Addison. I'm okay with Addison there. All right, let's take a look at this board. So Lamar's still on the board. I mean, Richardson will be available for me. I can already tell based on the board because Lamar and Andrews are still there. Worthy's still there. Richardson will fall. I probably get Richardson to round 6 here if I want. That's probably going to be the goal. And I have the option that if Stroud falls, I could also double tap Stroud, and I don't hate doing that. Stroud and Richardson. I mean, if I can get Stroud around past his ADP, it's a perfect one where I'm not targeting Stroud, but I will take Stroud if he falls to me and he's around past his ADP, and that's assuming that I get Richardson. Scott saying it's okay. Sounds like me convinced. Yeah, dude, this is my entire life. It's my entire life, bro. Like the last month, my day job has been just absolutely crushing me. So luckily my studio and office are one and the same. So I can just literally slide the chair over one side of the room to the other, rip off a bunch of drafts, go back to my work, make some calls, whatever, and just keep going back and forth. It's a lot of time spent in this room. So that's one of the things I'm looking forward to about the season is that will end. And just sitting back and be able to watch football and track your teams will begin, and that's the fun part. So let's see. What am I up in? 6 picks here? I'm definitely going hero RB. There's too many receiver values that are tough to stomach late, or I should say there's too many running back values that are way easier to stomach than the receiver values. So I just feel like a couple just straight up hopium pure zero RB teams where I'm talking 6 receivers, a quarterback, and a tight end before I even touch a running back. And then just dare the room that missed out on receivers to let me have them. So let's see. There's been a massive receiver run, just ripping them off back to back to back. And this is where I have to consider, man, 4% James Cook. I do have Garrett Wilson. There's some correlation there. I really don't want to take James Cook. I'm going to go Anthony Richardson. I'm going to stick with the plan. This team's not going to take Richardson. This team after me could take a quarterback, so I'm going to have to take Richardson going in. And then the next receiver I can take is probably going to be another, let's see, Deontay. Yeah, let's see. It's probably going to auto pick. All right, Kyle Pitts. Okay. We'll go A-Rich. And let's keep an eye on CJ Stroud. Ooh, I didn't realize Stroud has the same buy as Richardson. That's no bueno. So we're not going to definitely not take Stroud. That is going to hurt. That is going to hurt if Stroud falls to me. Right in my lap at pick. Ugh. Yeah, that'll be rough. Stroud falls to me as far. I mean, he's not going to, but if he did, that would be painful because I could not draft him. It would be a 3 QB team with 2 in the first 8 rounds, and that's not going to fly. Oh, Depressing. Didn't even think that. You'd think after all of these drafts over 3 months, I would know they have the same buy. But honestly, I just don't take a lot of Richardson, so I'm just glossing over him every time. There goes Roma Dunze. Man, they are just eating receivers in this draft. Just eating them. Chris Godwin. You know what? We're going to go Chris Godwin because this probably sets up to be a potential Baker Mayfield or Bryce Young team as QB2. So we'll go Chris Godwin. And now I'm going to take a little break and go back to making some picks. This hour clock, it is definitely going to, anybody that's in slow drafts, you are feeling it right now. You wake up and you go, holy smokes. I have tons of drafts on the board right now. Another one, Garrett Wilson, just fell to me in a BBM. Doing a slow BBM, fell to me at 111. So we'll go with another Garrett Wilson. Build that team slow congruently with this one. Deontay, Kittle. Yeah, I mean, we're getting down to... I'm probably going to be looking at Cortland Sutton as my wide receiver 6, Jordan Addison, Cortland Sutton. Nuke Hopkins. I backed off Nuke Hopkins since the injury, feeling a little more confident. There is some closing line value you're going to get on Nuke Hopkins if you take him now, because a lot of people were taking him in round 5, round 6. So there's something to be said about that as well. Let's see, I don't have her, so we're going to go Bateman on that team. That's an obvious one. What we got here? We got Kyler. Ooh. That's a Rashid Shaheed team if I've ever seen one. And we got Kyler. Ooh, I could have gone T-Law and Gabe Davis, but I missed out. So we'll go Jerry Jeudy there. All right, so still about 10 picks away, so I'll come back to the board here in just a minute. We got Kyler and Daniels. Josh Downs, I like that one. It's nice when I go back to these slows and have players in the queue, so I can figure out what I was thinking last time I was in this draft, like probably yesterday. But no, it doesn't always work that well. Let's see, Nix, Levis, Jalen Hurts. Does that need to be a 4 QB team? Probably not. Always got to do a P. Ryan check. Oh, P. Ryan's there. Let's take him. There's no doubt. P. Ryan. If you get in a slow and P. Ryan's there in the 16th, you just take him. Matter of the tournament. Any tournament that's going on, whether it's BBM or one of the other smaller ones that you still have stragglers, like P. Ryan's not going to be highly rostered. So Puppy 2, Mini Schnauzer, anybody that's got any of those hanging around, just take P. Ryan. Let's see, what do we got here? Okay, let me check the board again. I think I'm pretty much caught up. Yeah, I got over an hour to make most of these other picks, so I should be good to go. All right, back to the board. I'm looking at a 105 build thus far. 1050 build. Not really any correlation other than the week 16 correlation between the Chiefs and the Texans. 100%. 100% Evie Diz. Akers was one of the ones that I mentioned. Akers, P. Ryan, McIntosh, Jamal Williams. Jamal Williams probably less so. But yeah, Akers and P. Ryan, smash. Okay. I am up. I could go Jordan Addison. I bet you the team after me, though, goes with Addison or Sutton. I'm fine with. Najee, I got a shit ton of Najee. I mean, you know what? I don't even want to do it, but I'm going to take the CLV on Kamara, getting him around after his ADP. We'll go Kamara. So I didn't stick wholly to the script, but getting Kamara around after his ADP, I'll take that. He's been falling, and I have so much Najee, just an absurd amount of Najee. And there goes Sutton, Swift. So it'll either be Najee here or Addison. Because receivers, if Addison goes, then I'm going with 2 later receivers, and I'll still probably go with a 2-5-7-2 build or a 2-6-8-2 build. Come on, probably going to auto. Probably going to auto here. Addison, okay. So I'm out. I am out. If this guy goes Najee, he probably doesn't. He has 3 running backs. Can't imagine he goes Najee. Because if he does, then I need to figure out what I need to do. Because Warren would make sense. Getting a little ADV value on Aaron Jones would make sense. Joe Burrow. Okay. Well, we'll add Najee to the queue, and that will be my pick. And we'll go back to making some of these slow picks. So not what I envisioned. I did not envision taking, normally if you want Sutton or Addison, they are here. But Sutton and Addison gone by pick 85. Pretty wild. Pretty wild. And then there's just a chasm of receivers. And maybe that's good because I'll be set up to get Josh Downs and A.D. Mitchell if I want. Or, obviously I'm trying to take Granson in the last round, so that's one that I can wait a little bit on. But maybe I can end up with, I don't have a lot of Richardson, and I definitely don't have a lot of Josh Downs. I have some A.D. Mitchell. I've taken him naked a lot. But I wouldn't mind getting a Richardson, Granson, A.D. Mitchell team. And I can definitely get Mitchell coming back if I want him. And the running backs, man, look at this queue. Tell me running backs didn't get faded here. We've seen a lot of drafts like this, but man, someone's going to get a Ramondre Stevenson, Aaron Jones, at least a round past their ADP. So one of those where if you hit on the right receivers and maybe quarterback before it, looking pretty good if those guys end up working out. Let's see, back to this marathon. These marathons are the ones that are just absolutely killing me. Mahomes, T-Law. There's Aaron Jones at pick 90. Not bad. Wonder how far Jalen Warren will fall. I backed off. Jalen Warren was probably my second highest rostered running back with Spears early on. And then I literally have clicked him maybe twice in the last 8 days or whatever since his injury, 12 days. It's just been a complete fade, which is, I've not taken him in a BBM probably in literally 2 weeks. And I'm still at 13%, which is quite high. Given I've probably done 40 BBMs, slows even that I started, and I have not taken him. So it's just been complete fade. So maybe he falls to me. Never know. Maybe someone will snag the closing line value on him. I'm still 12 away. He probably won't fall to me, but I've seen him fall. People just are nervous about a running back with a soft tissue injury. There he goes. Good value there for Keanu Reeves, 28. This is probably what I just got to stomach it and take a running back. Doesn't feel good, but okay. This is marathon. You got to be careful of those bye weeks because you just got to be careful of taking, the running back or the quarterbacks on the same bye. You just don't want to do that, especially if you're playing on a 2 QB build. So Richardson, there we go. We'll go Wicks in that one. Ooh, puppy 3. When I get to a puppy 3 and I have a 3, 5, 6, 1 build, I know I'm going to take probably one more. And it is a P. Ryan is there in round 16. So there we go. Old P. Ryan. That's what I got. Oh, yeah, that's an obvious one. You click on a team, and Burrow is still there with Chase and Higgins, and you got those. You got Burrow at pick 101. I'll take that. It's an easy one to rip. This one, who do I have in the queue? Oh, never mind. We're not taking him there. Is it round 17? Okay, I don't hate that. Tolbert's probably gone. Yeah, I actually don't hate taking that move. I assume P. Ryan's gone. Yeah, P. Ryan's taken. Akers still there. Okay. All right. Better look back at this board. Open 3 picks. What do we got working here? We got a 1, 2, 5, 0 Romeo Doubs stolen, but I have very little Romeo Doubs. That would not be one that I would poo-poo, even though Love is gone. Again, I got to get my head out of the marathon strategy here. Njoku is interesting. Watson I could always use as a QB2. Njoku Granson would not be a terrible tight end pairing. Don't mind that. There goes Caleb. All right. Throw Njoku in the queue. That will be my pick. This team already has a tight end, so they're not going to take him. Njoku here. Good with that. Next team does not have a tight end. He's probably going to snipe me if I don't do it. Okay, Njoku. And then I'm fine with whatever running back here. Even if I end up with another Spears, I'm fine with Moss or Spears. I should get one of those two. If I have to take Singletary, that gives me some correlation. And I have less Singletary than Moss and way less Moss than Spears. So, in fact, I'm going to go. There goes Spears. So unless this guy goes Singletary, if these two picks are Moss and Singletary, then I'm down to Rico Dowdle, which I'm okay taking Rico Dowdle as well. Only 6% Dowdle. That's another one. Jerome Ford, 12%. It's a little higher on Ford. There's some week 16 correlation there. Okay, that's cool. So I'm going to get Singletary. Beautiful. Singletary with A-Rich. I don't have many of those, so that's definitely unique. Now, the question is, with guys like Singletary, in the back of my mind, I'm wondering, is he even going to make it to week 17? Probably Tyrone Tracy or Eric Gray, week 17, or some rando that they sign. So, but I like where this team's going. Getting Singletary just literally to fall to you right at ADP, a little after it. I mean, that's not bad on a team you already committed to Richardson. So, get a couple guys in the queue here. I should be coming up on 80 Mitchell next time. It's going to be close. Whether he falls to me, probably won't. I would have had to take him earlier there, just not the greatest spot for him, but I'll be able to get Downs, and I'll reach on Downs a little bit. Downs should be there at my next two picks. So I'll take Downs. QB2 plan, probably Watson in there. People have faded Watson because of his injury, and it's like it's a big tournament. Like if he's going to fall, what are you going to do? He's either going to play or he's not. And I don't hate some of these tournaments too. Single QB taking the custodial approach and taking Jameis Winston. This could be one. Maybe I do that. Maybe I go with a 3 QB build. I go completely custodial QB here, but I don't take another second one. Bye weeks are week 14 for Richardson, so a late bye, you can do it. So maybe I go, oh God. Maybe I go Baker. We'll see. I got options with Godwin. I could go Bryce Young and a Panthers piece because Panthers are easy to stack. I could go Baker. Just Baker, Godwin. Maybe end up with like Chuba Hubbard or someone like that. But definitely the key cog being I go with Jameis Winston. And that maybe be the shot in the dark in week 17 that nobody else has, especially with the ability to get probably Jalen Wright if I want, Malik Washington if I want. And ultimately, it doesn't even really matter because I'm going for the Njoku Winston stack. That would be what separates me. I don't necessarily need to bring back if I wanted to do that. So, oh man, let's see. This draft, what am I looking at? Looking at a 2-5-7-2 builds. Receivers are pretty heavy. I'm back on the clock after taking Pirine. I really don't need to get greedy and take another Justin Fields. I don't need to do it. Let's see. Dak, Justin Herbert. Oh, I could definitely throw Brendan Rice in there. That can be my 18th round pick. And this is probably going to be a running back. You know what? Screw it. Let's go Akers. Don't have any Akers and Pirine teams, but why not? Why not? All right, 6 picks away. I better focus back on this board. Otherwise, I might get autoed Kylan Granson in the 11th round. That would be bad. All right, so we're at a 1-3-5-1. Judy's an option. And Josh Downs will be an option. Tight end, I'm probably waiting. I can unhighlight tight ends. Same with quarterbacks. I'm going to probably put the quarterbacks on the sideline for now. All right, so this is probably going to be a 5 running back team, maybe 6, depending on what I end up. I can't go 3 QBs and 6 running backs on this team. So there goes Mike Williams. That's a guy I have not taken almost all year. I don't think I've clicked Mike Williams once. Maybe once early on. Can't really remember. I have to look it up, but that's just one that in a blind spot. Now he's starting to move up because of the injury. I guess, yeah, he can't move up that far. He's probably going to stay in round 10, round 11. But, maybe it's one I'll have to take 1 or 2 times just because I don't have any. Goff at 127, okay. This team's got 6 receivers. I doubt they go Jerry Jeudy, so it's really going to come down to the team in front of me, whether they go Jeudy. I could always pivot to Mooney. Cousins gives me another out at QB if I want to go that route. Could go with another running back. I don't mind Eckler. There's Chubb, okay. Chubb, not a guy I'd be interested in. Goddard, perfect. So we'll go Jerry Jeudy. That's an easy pick. Really sets up the custodial Winston build if I want. That'd be sweet. Jerry Jeudy, Jameis Winston, David Njoku. Triple stack to end the season. Oof. Oof. That's nice. I'm tempted. Really, I should take Josh Downs here. Or, you know what? I'm going to push Josh Downs. If I really wanted him, I'd have to take him here, but I'm going to push him. I can live with a naked Anthony Richardson. And the receivers, the Jeudy pick is interesting because it pushes even more receivers down. I mean, this board is just littered with RB value. And, I mean, this team's not going to take Eckler. I'm going to take Eckler. I'm going to take the ADP value on Eckler. Boom. Love that. That definitely solidifies me that I can go 5 RBs here because I'm going to try to sneak in an extra quarterback. And I don't have to worry now that I got Eckler there. I feel a lot more comfortable to Eckler having a role versus where it would have been before. So I liked how that turn went right there. Let's see. Back to the slows. We got a 0-3-6-0 build here in BBM. And I have Roma Dunze, Caleb Williams. I do not have a lot of Calebs, so we'll rip Caleb in that one. Let's see, this marathon. Okay, we're getting to the end of this marathon. A 2-5-7-1 build in this marathon. I've got Allen. Let's see, I'll probably go. I'll put Granson in the queue there. I really want to get some more Granson in these tournaments. And then receiver-wise, you know what? I'm going to double tap. I love double tapping. Greg Dortch, Jermaine Burton. That is perfect for a team when you punch 0 receivers to start. Let's see, what do we got here? This is another marathon, 2-4-4-1. Oh, yeah, that's a Jerry Jeudy team if I've ever seen one. Let's see a BBM here. 14-15 turn, looking at a 1-5-6-1. And my quarterbacks here, Jaden Daniels. I got to get Bo Nix in that queue, just in case I want to take Bo Nix. Honestly, I probably have to take Bo Nix if I want to take him there. We got Danny Dimes, Bo Nix. Probably only need 2 if I have Jaden. And I have Neighbors, so Granson's perfect on that team. Yeah, I'll come back to that one. Focus on this live as we end up. We got 6 more picks, so I want to focus on making the best of this one. So 1-4-6-1. This is probably going to be a 3-5-8-2 build. Good with Njoku and Granson. They do not have the same buy. Thank God I didn't even check that. All right, so I'm up in 5. Let's go to their running backs. Man, Jalen Wright or Chuba Hubbard would be the obvious picks here. Ray Davis could also be. I mean, those are all perfect. Xavier Legette. I mean, if I can get 2 of those 4. Bucky Irving's interesting. I could take Bucky Irving here. Some Jahan Dotson correlation. I've tried to only take Dotson with Hurts, but there's not a lot of teams in BBM that have Dotson and Hurts. That might be another idea of what team I want to build here over the next couple hours or in the next 24 hours is get a couple Dotson Hurts teams or a couple Dak, CD, Dotson bring back teams. So let's see. Probably going Ray Davis here. Could stomach Dobbins too, but probably Ray Davis on this team, given the correlation with Garrett Wilson. Unless I get sniped, but I'm guessing this team's probably not looking running back necessarily. All right, so he went Dobbins, which sets up perfectly for me to go Ray Davis. And honestly, I'm probably done at running back. Maybe I'll snag P. Ryan or Akers if they're there. If I end up getting a second quarterback that I feel more comfortable with A-Rich. So we will see. I mean, looking at the quarterbacks, Mayfield's gone. Watson's there. If I want Watson, I got to take him here. This is probably the Watson pick, to be honest. It's either Rodgers or Watson. I have less Rodgers, so maybe I go Rodgers. I can go either one. These teams aren't taking quarterback, so let's see. Bye weeks work out for both. Probably going to lean Watson because I have Njoku and Judy. So we're going to go Watson. Done. Okay, cool. All right, so we're done at QB. And we're probably going 2 more receivers and a tight end. Or we could live with 3 tight ends potentially if I wanted to go really, really late and maybe tack on. Ooh, that's Galaxy Brain in it for sure. I was going to say a late stack of wouldn't make sense on a team when I have Njoku, but some of these backup tight ends are going to end up being tight ends that matter because we were going through all the depth charts today. I mean, there's some backup tight ends that are, a 2 touchdown game away from hitting your lineup, and they were 0.000% owned. I mean, just as absolute zeros. And you have the one copy in the entire tournament. So let's see. Might as well make a couple picks during these long breaks. Got a 1-5-6-1. I added some players in the queue already. Honestly, if I want to take Bo Nix, I should take Bo Nix right here. It's early, but yeah, give that one a break. All right, this draft's crawling along. I got Granson in the queue. Let's take a look at the receivers here. Oh, we got a question. Justin, 12-man league. How are these picks? St. Brown, Garrett Wilson, Cook, Kelsey, Mahomes, Neighbors, Coleman, Moss, Pollard, Dowdle, Palmer. Is that a redraft league, Justin? Let me know. Dynasty, it's good. It's a lot of dynasty value in there. Mahomes, Neighbors, St. Brown, Garrett Wilson. Good dynasty start there. All right, so focus on a little correlation. No stacks with Richardson. I already got Watson stacks, so it's probably just some bringbacks or game stacks that I'm looking for here. Hard for me to pass up on some Jermaine Burton. Dotson's there. He's got week 15 and 16 correlation. I don't have a lot of Dotson. Malik Washington. I you know what? I'm going to take a Malik Washington here. I'm so heavily invested in the Browns here. I need some bring back juice with Malik Washington. So we're going to go Malik Washington. We're going to go Kylan Granson. I'll be able to get both of those guys pretty easily. Let's see. Jordan Whittington, that's one that was kind of a sleeper. There's some week 16 correlation there with Whittington, so I don't mind putting a star on him. There's week 16. It feels like you want to correlate some Bengals here, so I don't mind taking a Burton or a Yoshibas. 11% Burton, 5% Yoshibas. So I think I'm going to take Burton. I prefer Burton. Anybody that's heard me talk about that situation, I prefer Burton over Yoshi. I don't think the Bengals really have a role for Yoshibas. He's going to play, but I don't think he's like got a dedicated role where Burton earns a dedicated role. It's because he's just too good. And they move Jamar into the slot. If Jamar plays, we're getting to a kind of a concerning point with Jamar. So Isaiah Likely's got some correlation there too, but I'm going to pass on Likely. I came into this saying I wanted to get some Colin Granson, so that's what we're going to do. Come on, buddy. Make the pick. Probably on auto here. Tank Bigsby. Definitely not on auto with that unless it was in the queue. All right, so Jermaine Burton is wide receiver 7. Let's see. Wide receiver 8 is either going to be Malik Washington or Jordan Whittington. Probably pass on that Whittington. And see if it makes sense for this to be. I hate drafting 3 tight ends when I take somebody like Njoku so early. And I'm not taking. You know what? This is probably, I can afford another running back here. So this, I don't know if he's been taken, but this is a P. Ryan team, if I've ever seen one. So hopefully I don't get sniped. Yeah, Justin, I saw that you got Amon-Ra at the 10 spot. I don't know. Redraft 10th pick. Got Amon-Ra at the 10, I assume. That's nice. Very nice. I mean, getting Amon-Ra and Wilson and then coming back and getting Mahomes, Kelsey. Nice. Very nice. Bonix. All right. Sam J.P. Ryan. Come on down, baby. And it's a perfect team. It's a perfect team because I have Najee. I have Rashee Rice. And now I have P. Ryan. So a nice little triple stack there. You can always go with shout out to Spike Week, who's been vital for me to be able to complete the BBM journey this year. But Spike Week will tell you the game stacks and 3 week 17 game stacks, which is nice. It'll be 4 when I draft Malik Washington. Let's see, team view. Let's go back to team view. There we go. All right, so a couple more picks down, and then we will be done, and we will be done for the Underdog Portfolio weekly season. I don't know how many people are still in here right now. I can't see, but it has been a blast doing this. I got to give a shout out to Old Rage EQ, not just for hooking us up with this merch. Congrats to Ray on everything he's built at DD. It's been awesome to be a vital part of it, and looking forward to where things go here in the future. But Ray's the one that approached me. Hey, I want you to do Underdog. I really think if you dive headfirst into the shallow end, that hopefully you don't come away with an injury. But point is, you dive head first, and I was apprehensive at first because I knew it would be. I'm the kind of person that when I get into something, it isn't like, oh, I'll just dabble. I'll do a draft every other night or something like that. It's going to be just obsessive. Oh my gosh, I need to max enter this. I need to max enter that. I need to max enter BBM5. Oh, there's a new puppy. I got to max enter that. There's a super flex tournament. Got to get at least 50 in. Oh, there's the fast puppy where you can only draft live. I got to draft all day for a weekend to see how many I can get in because I can't do slows. I mean, it's just one after another after another. And so we're down into the home stretch at this point. So it's been fun, but thank you. Shout out to Ray and everybody that drafted with me. I didn't get to give a shout out for everybody that drafted with me. I'm terrible because I can't remember, but I'll go through and give a shout out to everybody. But I mean, JJ Zacharyson, Dwayne McFarland, we got Ike and Gene both came on for a draft. We had the Bestball Night School guys come on for a draft. We had Stacy Perez come on. Eric Beimfor. How could I forget Eric Beimfor from Spike Week? We had Ron Stewart came on, did a draft with me. I mean, it's been an awesome summer of guest drafters that have been able to come on and chop it up and do a live draft. It's been awesome. It's been really, really awesome having so many great guests come on and draft with me. It's been fun. All right, home stretch. And we'll end this bad boy. It's going to be Malik Washington and it's going to be Kylan Granson unless somebody gets a fun idea to take one of those guys. I can't imagine they will since I'm near the kind of butt end or the front end of the draft here. So let's see where we go. Should auto queue, should get both of them. And then we will be done. Recap the team. It's going to be a 2-6-8-2 build with Anthony Richardson and Deshaun Watson. Book ended by the tight ends of David Njoku, and I don't want to jinx it. I don't officially have Kylan Granson on the roster yet, but angling hopefully for me to get Kylan Granson on the roster here in just a second. Started with 5 receivers, went Garrett Wilson, Nico Collins, Rashee Rice, Stephon Diggs, Chris Godwin, finalized with Jerry Jeudy, Jermaine Burton, and not quite Malik Washington yet, but we will see. And then running backs. Was able to get some good running back value past ADP. Alvin Kamara, Najee Harris, Devin Singletary, Austin Eckler, Ray Davis, and Samaje Perine. Again, a 2-6-8-2 build with 4 game stacks with the Chiefs, Steelers, with the Bills and the Jets, with the Colts and the Giants. And then the final one that we game stacked was Dolphins, Browns. Again, assuming that these picks go as they should. So pretty standard, not the greatest team. I don't think you're going to get teams this far in. That is why I focused so much, and I mentioned 20 times in this show, to draft guys like Akers, to draft guys like Perine, to draft the guys that are going to be very low rostered. These are the last day or two of BBM drafts. So getting those guys at very low ownership percentages are huge. Passing on guys that have been drafted a ton that you still have no clarity on their role. So that is the Roshan Johnson. Look, there's a pick right there by T Wonky 98. Noah Brown. No one's taking Noah Brown. There's some CJ Stroud teams that maybe tacked on a Noah Brown, but that's going to be less than 1%. But passing on guys like, not that I want to pass on Audric Estime, but I have a ton of Audric Estime. I don't need more. He's a better pick than probably Jamal Williams. But against the field, he's not, because he's drafted in damn near every draft. So that's the key, is getting leverage against players that are not drafted a lot. So this should give me Malik Washington. Oh, give me Kylan Granson. Okay. Yeah, what a mistake. What a rookie mistake I made there by not getting Malik Washington. So I'm going to have to pivot. Didn't even see my queue. That's a rookie draft mistake right there. So we'll have to pivot. We'll have to go Jordan Whittington if he comes back, or we'll find somebody else that I can probably go. Definitely should have gone Washington over Kylan Granson, just given where my team stood. I didn't even look at the QBs that this team had. What do they have? They have Tua. No, they didn't have Tua. They must have just knew I wanted that Malik Washington. Just had to get him. Probably go Trey Tucker. That's a good one. Or I can maybe scroll down a little further. Anybody that I could stack with Richardson. Could go Alec Pierce. That's really gross. I mean, these picks, Ray McLeod and Devon Vele. I mean, ain't much better there. Juju Smith-Schuster, that's ugly. Trey Tucker. I'm going to go Trey Tucker. Get that Alvin Kamara, bring back, and then we will be done with this draft. And I saw Mr. Bakes a lot jumps in. Scott Connors, the GOAT. Appreciate you, dude. And that is it. I've been streaming for almost an hour and 20 minutes. I made some picks at the beginning, and I am currently on the clock in another 27 drafts. So I got to get working, and let's rock. Thanks, everybody. See ya.